It's currently Sunday morning, 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm doing this for you. I really need to sleep. Hi everyone, my name is Christina Bimalo, and we're back again for another beautiful music video. I didn't want to do another album review just because I'm still working on it, and I've gotten a lot of requests from you guys. Thank you so much, but it's a lot, and there's a lot of music to go through, and I have little to no time, but I will get it out there. I will. So I want to say thank you for getting the Michael Jackson video up to 600 views. I was not expecting that in the slightest. I was thinking like 50, because I don't know who wants to listen to me blab about Michael Jackson, but apparently I was wrong. I decided to do something a little bit different. So as some of you know, I'm a big Broadway musical fan. I love musicals, I love singing, and so I was thinking that maybe I should do a video about one of my favorite musicals, a musical review. And when I said that out loud, I was like, that's a brilliant idea. And so it came down to, okay, what musical should I pick? Because like, I love musicals, and there are so many of them, and there's so many good ones, and it's hard to pick, to be honest. But we narrowed it down to Rent, which is, it's a great musical. The movie is a little but the musical, A+. So, here's my Rent musical review. Rent premiered on Broadway in 1996. They had their 20-year anniversary last year, which was great. They had like a tour and everything. Rent is a rock musical based on these artists that live in New York, and they're trying to make it in the city. And most people don't know, but my favorite genre is actually rock. I love Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses. I'm a big rock person. Classic rock, heavy rock. I love rock. But it's basically about these young artists living in New York, trying to make it in the city. Very original, I know. But here's the catch. It was based in the 80s, which is when AIDS was a big deal. Back in the 80s, having AIDS was basically like a death sentence. No one really knew what it was or how you got it. It was terrifying stuff. That's not to say that AIDS is not a big deal right now. It definitely hasn't gone away, but the deaths have also decreased in the past 20 years for sure. And so the fact that Rent talks about that is what also makes it a very iconic musical. That, and the fact that it's a very diverse cast. It's one of the first mainstream movies to have gay characters, bi characters, lesbians. So the combination of a diverse cast and the interesting topic made Rent a very interesting movie. So along with that, the artists are also struggling with drug abuse, their sexuality, trying to be creative and get their work out there, and of course trying to pay rent. Spoiler. So of course, to do this YouTube video, I had to rewatch the movie. And I was watching it and I was like, this is a bad movie. There was this one scene when one of the characters was like either on the Grand Canyon or something singing, and I was like, overkill. It's different when Maria does it in Sound of Music, because she's like on an open field and it's the opening scene. She's inviting you into the story. In the movie, they're not able to convey the emotion the right way, and then they just kept cutting it and putting different montages into it. They cut out quite a bit of songs, and those songs are important to the musical. Because certain songs are cut out and certain scenes are removed, there's a lot of plot holes in the movie that makes it not a good movie anymore. Like Mimi and Joanne's relationship, which in the musical you can see is very on and off, and it's kind of hilarious that way. But in the movie, they break up once and it looks final, and like that's the end of it. And then some random scene, we see them hanging out together again, and we're like, they got back together? When? What happened? And it was a big breakup. Like, they had it during the, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. And so it was like, oh, they're over. Like, they're completely over. But then turns out they weren't. They were just on a break. But if you haven't watched the musical and you're not like a big Rent head like me, you're not gonna know, and you're gonna get frustrated. And in the ending scene, when Mimi, it was like very, very cliche and cringy, and it was supposed to be like the most heart-wrenching crying scene, and it just looked really cringy. But when I watched it live, I was bawling my eyes out. There's a certain magic that film cannot take when taking it from a stage production, because you really see the actor acting, you really see the emotions, you hear it in the voice when they're singing, as opposed to just different cutscenes and different montages of like the girl like swooning and the boy like and you're like, sure. And that's just me. Another character who was underdeveloped was Mark, who was kind of the main character, and he had a lot of songs in the musical and you could really see into his mind. One of the ones I really like was Halloween, and they cut out Halloween, and Halloween is really important because it really shapes the way the musical was about to turn, but they cut it in the movie, and that was very necessary. And they just kept adding dialogue, and I was like it's not like I don't like dialogue. I like talking. You can see that I spend like 15 minutes talking to my screen, but it's a musical. It doesn't need that much dialogue. In conclusion, about the movie in general, let's not talk about the music. About the movie in general, it's not that good. I think that the musical numbers are really cut out, and the direction that Christopher Columbus used really lowers the quality of the musical, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't watch it, because the music is A+, except for that one song, but we'll talk about that song. Okay, now that we finished bagging on the movie itself, let's move on to the important stuff, the music. I decided to split it up into 4 categories: best solo, best duet, best group number, and worst song, because I don't think I need to go more than that, and I don't think you guys want to hear me go more than that. Almost everyone had a solo, first of all, and I narrowed it down to 4, which is Over the Moon, sang by Maureen, Out Tonight by Mimi, One Song Glory by Roger, and I'll Cover You Reprise by Collins. For Out Tonight, Mimi does this kind of like sexy stripper type performance, so you know, you get like a clear picture of the character that she is, which is like the wild child. Then we have Roger's song, One Song Glory, which, you know, you can tell by the song that he just wants one song and his glory, so he's like this brooding guitar player. That's about it. And then Maureen does Over the Moon, and you see that, oh, she's just a dramatic performance type. So yeah, they're really good songs that really shape the character and shape what you know about the character, and I like songs like that. However, Collins' I'll Cover You Reprise brought me to tears. Anytime I hear that song, I start bawling straight. He delivered it so well. The person who played it is Jesse L. Martin, and you might know him. He's one of the guys in Law and Order. So, and I didn't know he could sing. When I first saw him in the movie, I was like, oh, I didn't know you were a performer. And then he sang, and I was like, oh, you can sing! So yeah, best solo definitely goes to that one. When I think about duets, the first duet I think of is Tango Maureen, and it's a good song. It was done well production-wise. I kind of like their little like tango sequence. It was cute, it was nice. But Tracy Thomas has killer vocals, and that song does not do her justice at all. Take Me or Leave Me is a fantastic song. One of the most popular Rent songs. If you have a musical Broadway friend, they definitely have talked to you about that song before, or sang you that song before. I actually really enjoy What You Own, which Roger and Mark do, and I like the harmonies they do, and I love the way the song is arranged, and the melodies and the lyrics. I like it a lot. But best duet definitely goes to Light My Candle. It's like your typical musical number. Like, it's dramatic. It has some comedic lines thrown into it for good effect. You know, it's got some killer vocals also, but not like killer, like Take Me or Leave Me killer, but like still like, oh, like, okay, I see you hit that note. You hit it well. It had some tone in there, some resonance. Yeah. Best group number. So, Seasons of Love is great. It's the opening number, and it really shapes the musical. If you're a good lyric listener, you can really understand where the musical is going to, what the musical is going to be about, and find it relatable also. Finale B is pretty good, just because of the way they mix 2 songs that are already in the musical together to create this whole like different mashup. And yeah, the harmonies they use, also because it's the finale song. The finale song is always amazing. Best group number, definitely La Vie Boheme. I love songs that are fun to sing. When I perform, I like to pick songs that are theatrical and dramatic, and I have fun with it. So one of my go-to Broadway songs is Doreen on My Parade, by Barbara Streisand from Funny Girl. And I love singing it. It's like a whole trip. I'm like bouncing around on stage. I'm like pointing at people, pointing at the sun, making weird faces. It's so much fun to do. And that's what La Vie Boheme kind of does too. You can see they're having so much fun just dancing on the tables, saying all these words and all these lyrics, and it looks like they're having a ball. In terms of harmonies and melody, the song isn't that rich, but just because of how theatrical and fun it is, it's my favorite song. The worst song is definitely I Should Tell You. I don't know why that song's in the musical. It starts off really slow and boring. It's when Mimi and Roger are like talking about their past and breaking down all the walls they have between them. And it's supposed to be like touching and cute, but I don't know. I don't like the way the song goes. The way they sing the line I Should Tell You is pretty boring. And then it moves on to this whole other verse that is completely different. You would not even see it coming. To me, it doesn't go together. And then it goes back to the depressing I should tell you I'm disaster. I'm like, no, it's the worst song for me. Sorry. However, even though that song is not up to par, Rent is one of my favorite musicals by far. I really relate to it. It's a cast filled with people that I see every day in New York. Even though I bag on it quite a bit, like it's about a lot of things. It's about how we treat others who are different from us. It's about the rich and poor, the significance of art and creativity in your life, and how important it is to live each moment like it's your last. I feel like my generation doesn't get Rent so much just because things have changed. But I think when you think about the backstory and where it's coming from, you see just how revolutionary it was. Kind of like how Hamilton is really revolutionary right now. I mean, Rent is a diverse cast. In the 1980s, it's a diverse cast singing about taboo topics like sexuality and drug use and AIDS. Like, it's not your usual musical about love and loss and I guess maybe identity for some of them. It deals with really deep and interesting topics. Jonathan Larson, who's the person who wrote the musical, definitely gave a voice to people who didn't have a voice. Unfortunately, he actually died the morning of the first preview of the musical. And so he never actually got to see the impact Rent has made on the world. It's nice to see a musical about things that I worry about. Like finding a community of people who care about me and support me and help me in my art. And creating my art and trying to finish it, trying to get it off the table. And living in this crazy city, which I really have a love-hate relationship with. And of course, trying to make rent.